hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga, and for anime only fans. If you are not reading the manga, unfortunately, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content on the channel is going to be specifically for the manga. I might try to get some extra videos out that are dealing with either like lore or explain videos or something that pertains to the anime, but for the most part, this is the time off where the content is going to be spoiler heavy. So if you're not reading the manga, I highly recommend checking out the manga because, you know, story wise, there's some pretty crazy stuff that's going on right now. However, with all that being said though, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you're caught up with the manga and you don't mind spoilers. So now that we're approaching Naruto with this new transformation, and this form is stated to come with a very heavy expense, that if Naruto uses this new form, that at the end Naruto will die. And now that we're at this point right now, I think that we need to start having conversations about how the death of Naruto could potentially be handled and what's the best case scenario. So I've said a bunch of times that if they're gonna go the route of killing Naruto off, I really feel like he needs to go off in a fashion just like his father did, where his father displayed his insane chakra reserves and his insane battle aptitude and strategy and everything that makes Minato such a badass. We saw it on full display in those short little moments of the Minato versus Obito battle and Minato versus the kyuubi. I've always said that Naruto needs a moment like that, and I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and I'm not gonna say their name just out of respect because I don't know if they want me to name drop them, but the thing that I said is that for them to go this route, this chapter has to be the equivalent of episode 65. That's one of those episodes where even the staunchest of Boruto haters, they tuned into that episode and they said, damn, this is what I've been waiting for. So when it comes to the manga, you have people who they dropped the manga a lot sooner than I was about to. I've said this story before, that I started to drop the Boruto manga, and then I think it was either chapter 23 or chapter 24, that chapter came out and then it completely hooked my interest. And so I say that, and that's 2 years by the way, so I wasn't giving up on it too soon, but I say that to say that this is your opportunity to where even the staunchest of Boruto haters, they're going to tune back into this chapter. And so if this is just another run-of-the-mill Rasengan punch kick shocked expression, a little bit of talking, and then back to Rasengan punch kick, etc, etc, if it's one of those chapters, you're gonna lose a lot of those fans. However, with the new transformation and actually seeing Naruto display some of the crazier jutsu in his arsenal and seeing a balanced battle between Naruto and Isshiki, I definitely think that this could be the chapter that changes everything for the Boruto series. And I think that at the end, if you have Isshiki and Isshiki is crawling into whatever hole he came out of, and Isshiki gets the karma seal put back on Kawaki, which we all know at some point that is gonna be something that happens, it'll be really badass in my opinion if we had a moment where, just like how Minato had his dying moments with his son, his newborn son, I really think it'd be really awesome if Naruto in his dying moments has a moment with Boruto. And in particular, I really want to see Naruto being held by Boruto as that new transformation is leaving his body, and Boruto, just how when Naruto's chakra connected with him when they did that father-son Rasengan against Momoshiki, I would really love to see something to where Boruto gets more of a glimpse into everything that Naruto's been through, because part of Boruto's story at this point right now, if you go back to chapter 1, part of Boruto's story is also learning his father's story, because if he wants to be everything the opposite of his father, he has to know exactly what his father went through. And so what would be very important here is if we have that moment where as Boruto's crying and he's holding his father, if in that moment right there there's a huge shift, there's a light switch that goes off to where Boruto realizes everything that Naruto Naruto tried teaching him that the village is just as much as his family as Boruto is. And this sacrifice wasn't just to prevent Boruto from being fed to the Ten Tails, but this sacrifice was also for the betterment of the Hidden Leaf Village, for giving the Hidden Leaf Village a fighting opportunity. This would be a great opportunity for Boruto to learn what it means to love something more than you love yourself. And I really think that if you give Naruto this moment right here, to where maybe you go the route like with Naruto and Minato, to where when Minato is the Edo Tensei is looking at his son's crying, his son's blabbering and going on and on and on about all the things that he was wrong about, and you just have Naruto just stand there just like how Minato did, and Naruto just acknowledges everything. I feel like in that case silence would be the best way, because for a character like Naruto who's so loud and passionate and just blurts everything that comes to his mind as it comes to his mind, I really feel like this could be something right here, to where you see that final maturation process in Naruto, and because of the circumstances, Naruto is actually passing on his will of fire to his son. I really feel like that would be something really cool, especially given the fact that, you know, Boruto is trying so much to walk in Sasuke's shadow, and yet one thing about Boruto is that Boruto has a lot of Naruto's qualities in him. He's more of the Minato side when it comes to just being a genius that picks everything up, but I really feel like this could be an opportunity for Naruto to pass on his will of fire to his son. And I think that Naruto making this sacrifice in front of his son, I think that that's probably the most beautiful thing you can do, and that's probably the most beautiful way you can actually send out his character. To have Naruto start out the series as being somebody who was hated by everybody, is now the Hokage of that village and is laying down his life, and somebody who was introduced as being alone, saying that he had no family to go home to, and now you have him actually being held by his son as the life is leaving his body, and Naruto's preparing to go depart to actually be with his parents in the pure world. And this will be the first official time that he's on the same plane as his parents, because before they met him via the chakra, but Naruto's never actually been in the same plane. I'm not counting the Edo Tensei with Minato, because Minato, even though he was an Edo Tensei, he was technically not alive. And so I think this could be a really emotional moment, to where after Naruto goes into the Pure Land, if we transition at the end of that chapter and we see Naruto walking into like a white void or something like that, and he's got Minato, he's got Jiraiya, he's got Kushina, they're all waiting for him. I think if you pull some shit like that, that would be one of the most beautiful things, because it has to follow an epic battle of Isshiki versus Naruto. It has to be, like I said, it has to be the episode 65 of manga chapters for Boruto. It has to be hands down, undisputed, the best chapter we've had. And I think that's probably the best way you can send Naruto off right there. I think that's the best way. But I want to know from you guys though, how do you feel about that? Do you guys agree with me that this is the best way to send off the character, or do you still think that there's a possibility that Naruto, let me know down in the comment section below. But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.